And in one, we were talking about the the on the move framecast that that Drew did with oh my god, Drew is gone. Drew is not existing in my space. Hold on. This is so weird. We don't have Drew. We have lost Drew in the pictures, but I think we can still hear him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you can't see me.
It's probably because like the computer is having an episode, but I'll bring you back right now.
Okay. Yeah, so talking about on the move, 10 o'clock, the first ever 10 when we did this, it was traumatic because it was great and amazing and everything, but the problem was
That Discord
you
just
couldn't make out what anyone was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I and I think 4 or 5 other people subtitled the whole episode, right? Just so people knew what the fuck was being said. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of like figuring out what the fuck's being said, if you're wondering about like the microphone quality difference changes, I'm doing it this week with this microphone, and I think that you're noticing these changes the most. Normally I'd use like a different microphone, but this time I got like this microphone arm, so I wanted to figure out like, does this sound different? Some people say you can barely notice it, but if you kind of notice it, it will be my microphone. That will be it this episode. Also, Casino is using his inbuilt microphone in his headset because now he can move around whilst talking. So that's also where a change is coming from today.
Yep.
See, he's standing up. He's just moved away. He's just moved.
Because like I need a can. I need my last ever. Wait, is there? Yeah, there's only one left. My last ever root beer. I need to, go get the last root beer.
The last ever?
Yeah, the last ever. There's no more root beer in the world, man.
Oh no!
This is the last ever A&W root beer. I mean, if there was any more, I would have it, but I don't have it. Thus, there is no more.
All right. Well, welcome to this historic moment. This is one for the history books. You will tell your grandchildren that you were here to witness the last root beer being consumed. There he goes. He doesn't go for the full chug.
Whoa. That's a waste.
I know.
Full chug a can of root beer. you gotta appreciate the root beer.
Mm-hmm. Definitely when it's like the last one to ever be made.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of the last one to ever be made, podcasting. This will be like the episode that will like put all episodes of other podcasts to the end because this podcast is so amazing that like why will anyone ever try after us? Welcome to FrameCast, the best podcast there is. Everyone else is a ripoff.
What do you mean everyone else is a ripoff? What about 10 o'clock?
I mean, 10 o'clock is actually 10 o'clock is like the predecessor of the FrameCast. So it's like the father and the son like ruling everything. So
I feel like you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole.
I feel like I'm trying to like read the topics for this week. Oh boy, we have some great topics for this week. Let's go over that. Actually, like indeed, sometimes we have episodes where we're looking for topics. It's like 1 or 2 topics that we can find in the week. This week, a lot has been going on. Actually, the past 2 weeks, because like it's been a while since we've seen Drew's lovely face. Last week we had a Cole. So let's see what we have this week. This week we have YouTube to start putting ads on all videos without paying creators. Then we have Innerslav teases a new map for Among Us. We have Nintendo shuts down online Super Smash Melee tournament. Lovely guys at Nintendo. I really like them. Apart from whatever they do online. Cyberpunk 2077 enables a toggle function to turn off copyrighted music in-game. And then we have also more on Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077 retail copies have been stolen and gameplay is being leaked, which you could also call the titular topic. And then we have Epic's founder managed to embarrass himself during an ongoing fight against Apple. Those are the topics for today. So exciting stuff. We'll be getting to those in just a minute. Before that, Drew, what have you played the past 2 weeks?
Okay. If you cannot guess what I have been playing for the last 2 weeks, we are clearly not friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So go on, guess. What have I been playing for the last 2 weeks? I'll actually expand this to the audience, right? You know, if you can guess what I've been playing for the last 2 weeks, we are true bro friends.
Hold on.
So our bro friendship is on the line here, Michelle.
Okay.
What have I been playing for the last 2 weeks?
Let me go and like turn on the audio again so we can loop over each other again while we discuss this. But before we do that, let me say Godfall. Yeah.
No.
No, Raft.
No. I have been playing Raft, but that's not the main thing I've been playing, Michelle.
You have not been You've not been
Yeah.
You've not been maining Raft with Nassif and Loss? What have those streams been?
Lies, clearly.
Big lies. Have you?
Yep.
How's the Raft going, by the way?
It's great. It's really good fun. I was watching Markiplier play it for the most part for ages. He released an episode a couple of weeks ago, and then it went stone cold silent. And I was like, "But I want more. I want to know what happens. Why won't you give me more?" And then I turned to Michelle and Loz and said, like, because Loz is actually really interested in the same Let's Play of Markiplier with Raft. We just turned to each other and says, like, do you fancy doing some live streaming of Raft on Nazif's stream? And he was like, yeah. So we went and did it.
Nice. I've seen you like a couple of times after our stream.
Yeah.
Mika's guessing Genshin.
Nope.
Have you been playing Genshin?
Nope. No one said it. I'm disappointed in everyone. Including you get one more chance, Michelle. Come on. I'll give you a hint if needs be.
All right. Let me think.
Come on, you can do this. I mean, come on, how often do I go on random tangents about this game during 10 o'clock or anything?
Oh.
Let me tell you about this one time.
And World of Warcraft?
World of Warcraft! Yes! So, latest expansion came out.
Ooh.
A couple of days ago, actually. And yeah, I've been playing that. Been getting back into WoW since they changed a lot of it, and yeah, played quite a bit of it recently. Obviously, I played Raft. Played quite a number of games for that Xeno Codex that came out last week.
Mm-hmm.
No, it came out Sunday. When did it come out?
It came out like this week. I don't think it's been out for longer than a week.
Yeah, so it came out like Sunday. Yeah.
Mika says, "Sorry, Xena, I'm not a boomer."
Well, you're clearly a Zoomer because you don't know the generation that boomer actually applies to. So it's fine. I forgive you for being so young and innocent too.
It is a giant mess, though. All those like intergenerational names. It's like, who even decides that? So,
I don't know. I really don't know. It's like, oh, there's Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
Millennial.
Yeah. Speaking of that Xeno Codex, for those of you who haven't seen it, what is like the quick rundown of the video? What's like the pitch as to why they should go and watch what you just put out like a week or 2 weeks ago, depending on like whenever.
Whenever anyone was listening to this. So the whole pitch of the latest Xeno Codex is what I use to judge the value of the game, right? So whether or not it's using features that are just there to make more money, to give you a false sense of progression. This is called a Skinner box technique. Whether or not the game is a bright, dazzling flash, whether or not it has a good tutorial, whether or not it has features that just don't make sense, like games as a service, cough, cough, Avengers. And one that's been a huge bone of contention is actually the cost per hour. So I say a game should cost no more than £2 per hour of gameplay. Some people have turned around and said, like one guy turned to me and said, "Oh no, it should be £8 per hour."
Wow.
I'm like, what?
So you would pay like, I mean, like in some countries, I feel like that might even be minimum wage, depending on people's age. In some countries. So like the fact that you would have to pay $8 an hour to play a game, like that is insane. That is great. Like can you imagine, like games right now are like $60 or something? Like they're pushing them to 70, they're pushing them to 80. But can you imagine, like, let's say that you buy a game for $60 and like the average like eight, like that wouldn't, like you pay a full price game, you get less than 10 hours of content from it. It's like, what?
Yeah. So this guy was referring to apparently games for the PlayStation that were ultimately amazing, that were £40 on release, but were like 5 hours worth of content. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't even know what game he was talking about. I haven't got a clue.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
What about you? What games have you been playing recently?
We've been doing one of your favorites. We've been playing Destiny. No.
Oh.
Finally for like the Xbox Game Pass, I've been able to like get my hands on Forsaken, Shadowkeep, and Beyond Light. So like I'm kind of playing for it. It's more Destiny stuff. It's alright. Other than that, we've been doing Genshin, because Genshin has like this new event sort of thing, which like I think their first event that they're doing, it's done quite well actually.
They did an event a little while ago, didn't they?
Yeah, right now they have this event with like story to it, lore, voice acting, an entire quest, and like meteorites and shit. And honestly, like it's done very well. Like there are still gacha mechanics where I'm like, Genshin. It's like there's still things where I'm kind of like, God dang it. But at the same time, like one of the things what gacha games do really well is like their events and shit. Because, like, they want to sell you these characters, and the way that they want to sell you these characters is by giving them, like, full-on backstories, giving them, like, entirely well-voice-acted, like, lines and an entire deep quest where, like, a lot of things are happening. And, like, I can really appreciate that. It's, like, especially, like, because, yeah, like, you'll get, like, one copy of that character, and then you can farm for more, so you can, like, expand them. And I'm like, well, for, like a free-to-play game, this event is, like, quite decent. So, I've enjoyed that. And I actually went back to Warframe, yesterday or 2 days ago, because it'd been like it'd been like 54 days since I signed in last time, which was a really long streak. So immediately noticed that the tables in the orbiter had changed, which like is of course the most shocking change that everyone like is going to lose their minds about. Even people that don't know about Warframe are just going to like run to the presses right now.
Wait. Tables in the orbiter? What
yes, the table. So like if you're at the start of like your Lisette sort of thing, like with the where the market is and where the codex is, these tables where these things are on, they used to be different, and they're different now.
Oh, that explains why I have a random floating Clem model.
Yeah.
Sorry, Noggle. I'm like, what? I don't remember putting that there. What? Okay, that must have changed at some point.
Shocking reveal. I know. No, that is the big change. So I was already like applauding it. I was already saying that this was the best year ever. I was waiting on those Twitch drops. I was surprised that there weren't Twitch drops for this massive content drop within Warframe. This big change. I've already written to like PC Gamer and everyone to like tell them that like there was something changed in Warframe. But no, like it was quite fun to go back. Apparently, like I didn't see the new Necromech, which I saw for the first time, and it's got like weird ass legs, and I'm like, oh, these look like normal legs under a robot, and it's so weird. But did some of the isolation faults, which were quite fun, because like they were expanded on a little bit more. Did it with Steph, which was fun. So yeah, that was kind of what I've been doing. Other than that, just like a really busy week with like a lot going on. So
appreciated. Yeah. So, are you excited for CyberPunk 2077 in a couple of weeks' time?
I am. Like, it doesn't feel real yet because, I mean, like, we've had, like, April where we had to wait for, and it was like, did they put something in September, or did they already say November? I think they said September, then November, September. Now December. So I'm kind of like, it will come when it comes. So, but I would like to see it in December. Then again, December, that's like 2 weeks away something. Like, it's 2 weeks away, and I cannot believe it because, like, December is so close, and it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like in, like, a month's time we're gonna be past the holidays already, or, like, on the last day of the holidays. What the frick? What's going on?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to the holidays. I'm looking forward to spending time with my family and the cats, which are more of my family than my parents, clearly, and playing large amounts of video games.
Oh man. Then and you and Nassif's cats can like do a little Zoom call or Discord call, do a little duo stream. Maybe they can raft stream while having like a cam of you guys. The cats play.
Actually, you know, my parents actually have a webcam, and I obviously have a webcam. I'm tempted to set up a webcam which is just of my cats.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, like there's one thing where I'm like, remember that one streamer that like had like a rig set up that he looked like a dog?
We do not speak of that. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what I think he should have done, what would have been a master plan, like he also used one of those dog cams or like the webcam on the dogs. Like he should have like actually used this thing where like he was like the dog and then just had like some sort of random human like just sit and like play with a toy. So instead of like a human playing with a dog cam, it was a dog playing with a human cam. Like that is some unexplored territory, man. And if you're on Twitch and you're using this idea, go ahead. You will be getting partner in no time, and please accredit us and remember us.
A lot.
When you make it. So yeah, yesterday on Nessa stream there was an exchange of cats. Ooh, there were some cat pictures being thrown around.
Ah.
So has it how's the progress on Raft been? Like, is it similar to Minecraft? Is it similar to like what do we have to imagine if we've never played it?
So the big thing about Raft. So in Minecraft, you're given like no real hints as to like go and fight the Ender Dragon or go fight the Wither or anything like that.
Yeah.
With Raft, the story's kind of tailored a bit. So your tiny little raft will always collide with an island at first, right? And then after that, your raft will you sort of like eventually amble around until you come across an island which will have blueprints for building like an antenna and things, and then automatically the next destination is locked into your radar, so you start heading towards that. And so it does actually give you a proper chain of like go here, and it's actually been really good fun because it's like, you know, when you go play Minecraft, you enter like this huge, expansive dungeon or like this chasm of mine shafts and things. Like it's like that, but it's properly scripted, so you always get to that point. And we got to this one point where we ended up on an island with a bear.
Oh,
Nazif. Oh, actually, it's like several bears. Nazif died a few times, and we're like, you know what? We need more supplies. So we went off, got more supplies, and then came back. And like, I'm absolutely like infatuated. Right? That's a really good word for it. We're absolutely infatuated with our raft. Because we've got these engines. Now, we built the raft to be like an arrowhead.
Ooh.
Yeah? And so there's nets on both sides of the arrowhead. And trying to get this thing to go in a diagonal was really, really difficult. Until some bright spark decided to put engines in 90 degrees from each other. So we've got two engines going that way and two engines going that way. And it's pushing us that way. It's just like, yes!
Hell yeah. So
it's really hard to steer though because the rudder is pointing that way, and I'm like, yeah, but we want to go that way. Just go that way. So I have to like carefully like navigate. It's good fun.
It's been a lot of fun watching the stream.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into the topics. There weren't really many comments from last week. Last week we also had Cole on, so people were quite shocked. Like what are they gonna do? You're not there. What are we gonna talk about? You know. So yeah, let's get into the first topic, which is a really interesting one. YouTube to start putting ads on old videos without paying creators. So in YouTube's latest update on November 18th, 2020, YouTube introduced something new, which is quite upsetting to a lot of creators. They said in like their new update, I think terms of service, that's why they put it in, is ads can now appear on videos from channels not in the YouTube Partner Program, and we will begin gradually placing ads on brand safe videos. This will mean Now, unlike before, when only videos monetized by creators would display ads, YouTube will now show ads ahead of a video regardless of whether its creator is a YouTube partner or not. Now, don't celebrate if you're not a YouTube partner like me, that like, oh, the ads are coming back just like before. No, well, like they are coming back, but this doesn't mean though that like people that aren't in the YouTube partner program are being paid. Basically, anyone that has their channel, that has had their channel like demonetized or has lower than 1,000 subscribers that isn't in there, will still get ads, but all the revenue will go to YouTube instead of you. At the same time, this means that creators may no longer be able to run their channels ad-free, like people like Jim Sterling do. And the people that aren't in the partner program also now have control over ads in the sense of like they can't choose whether they want to have skippable ads, non-skippable ads, whether they want to have mid-roll ads, whether they want to have certain types of ads on their channel, controls which are available to YouTube partners, but will not be to people that aren't in there. So basically, it's YouTube putting ads wherever they want, however they want, on people's channels without them paying them. So that's been quite an interesting thing. I don't know. Have you heard anything about that before, Drew, or is this the first time you're hearing about this?
No, I have heard about this. I've not really engaged with it because, well, it's just not something that I've been. I'm trying to think of the right wording. I don't massively feel negative or positive towards this, right? Because I make so little in terms of ad revenue from YouTube, I feel very, yeah, sure, whatever, don't care, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is from the perspective of I actually have a full-time job, so YouTube is not my main source of income. I kind of get the fact that they're a company and they need to make ends meet. They need to be able to pay for the lights to be left on and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can appreciate to some degree them turning on monetization, right? I wish the sodding targeted advertisements weren't such a pile of jank, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are, I don't know if anyone listening in chat could confirm or not. And Michelle, like, take note of the time and feel free to cut this out or something. But I honestly don't know whether or not you can still block adverts on YouTube, because I pay for YouTube Premium and I know not everyone can. I don't know if people are able to just say, nope, no more ads.
Well, you can, and like, I'm happy to talk about that, and like, I'll probably be making a video about it if like this goes through, because I'm not happy about this at all. Like, there's two reasons. One, of course, is like the reason where I'm like, I've been working for 5 years on creating videos, and it's the way that it is, that they don't want to pay me. Like, that's fine. Like, that's not their it's not their priority or their task to like put ads on my videos so that I can get paid from them. But I do think it's kind of weird that like I can work for 5 years, put hundreds of hours of content out there on YouTube, and then they get money, but I don't. Like, that's really weird. But more importantly is that I really dislike unskippable ads. I really dislike mid-roll ads. I really, really hate them. I like put them in the front, put them in the back, but if there's anything in the middle, fuck that. Like, that really puts me off of a video. And I can't imagine what they might do to all our framecasts out there. Like, we have 63 framecasts out there, over 110 hours of content right now. Like, can you imagine if YouTube just comes along and just like throws like 20 mid-roll ads in there because just they can? And it's like to them, like, it doesn't mean anything, because again, they don't give a shit about my channel, because it's like, it's less than 1,000 subscribers, so why do they care? But I can very well imagine, because I do that the same thing. If there's mid-roll ads, I will tune off the video, especially podcasts. I just want to be able to listen to podcasts. I don't want to like have ads every 5 minutes. Like, if I were to be able to control my ads, I would never have any mid-roll ads in my podcast. But now, if YouTube comes along and does that, like, not only will it like turn people off, but at the same time, like, it won't even get me any money. So like, why the hell? Like this is just hurting me for no reason. So like, I will definitely, like, if people start noticing ads on the podcast, like, I'll definitely recommend go use AdBlock. Go install it. Just block ads on my channel right now, because I'm not making anything of it. So like, go for it, because I'd rather have that you block ads and watch the podcast and listen to it than that you're like, oh fuck this, like, oh my god, there's an ad again. I'm just gonna tune out, because like seriously, it doesn't help me anything that there's ads. It's like, I really dislike that.
So to play devil's advocate, it costs you shit tons of time to put these videos together, right? If you could pick a number off the top of your head, how long does it take you to make, on average, any one of your videos, and how long is that video?
Okay, so actually, like, let's go with a video which I'm probably in like 90% sure releasing tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's a new video. So like, I'm working on a new video. It will probably be between like 15 and 20 minutes long. I'm not entirely sure, because like I'm halfway through with editing it. So I've scripted that, which took me like a day and a half to script, because it was like a new thing. Then it took me like 2 or maybe 3 days to record, because like it was a new thing where I had to like, I'm working with an overhead, which didn't quite work out. So I spent an entire day recording them. I wasn't happy with it. So I had to like buy new shit to like make it work. And then also like I had some troubles with like shooting. I had like I'm using like 2 hour long footage to like cramp it down to like 15 minutes. So it's like, it's 3 to 5 days of like working on a video. Now, that's not for every single video. Like, this podcast is only like 2 hours of work sort of thing, or like 3, 4, maybe like 3, well, let's say 4 hours maybe, where like 2 hours is recording, and maybe 1 hour in advance for like looking for the topics, and 1 hour after, which is like making sure that I download it, put on a thumbnail, put in everything in the description. Yeah. It's not hard work, because I can do things in the background, but it's like, yeah, let's say like anything between like 2 times the time of the video to like 10 times the time of the video. Like, yeah, there is definitely like a couple of hours worth of work in like every single video is out there.
So to me, like, the really interesting element to all of this is, how do I best, even though it's taken you this long to put the video together and everything, the sheer volume of money, there's my webcam controls, sorry, the sheer volume of money it costs to host the videos is actually quite surprising. Right? And I can easily see that all of YouTube's servers probably cost them in the region of $100,000 a month, maybe more. You know, which is a hell of a lot of money, don't get me wrong. So I can see that they need to recoup their costs. When you've got people like yourself that are making content that is effectively free advertising for YouTube, because, hey, look, if you want to see this episode of the FrameCast, which go after the fact, you need to go see it on YouTube. I totally get where you're coming from. So why should your hard work and effort basically give them free right to just slap a bill on it, like slap a charge on it, sort of thing? It sucks. It blows. What would you want?
So, like, I can appreciate that, like, running YouTube costs a lot of money. Like, basically, like, it is a charity sort of organization where, like, the amount of like money that it costs to like host this thing, to allow people to like upload so much content to YouTube, which will just stay on there, like, it's pretty crazy. But the thing which I don't understand is then, like, why don't we just go back to like the moment where it's like, I mean, like, I've had times when I started with YouTube, you could make money from advertisements. I could turn on monetization and I could run it. And it's like, what you're saying is like, you have a 13,000 subscriber channel, so it's like 14,000, and like you're saying that the money that I'm making from YouTube advertisement is not that big that this is something where like I worry about too much, or it's like, yeah, like, it's a fun site, but like I have my main job, and I'm glad I have my main job, because like, what do I get from it? So it's like, if that's the case, then like, why don't you just like enable it for like if you want to enable ads on people's channels, why don't you just enable it and like give them a share of the revenue? Just like look at Twitch, where like if you have 3 people watching you, it's like you can get ads. Like you can pay $5 and you can get ads for which you get paid. It's not a lot. It's like a couple of cents. And like if they pay out, I think their payout is like at least $100 or something. Like that's gonna take you ages to build up. But at least it feels like, hey, you know, I get a couple of cents. Like at least it feels like, hey, there's ads on my channel and I'm getting something from them. Where like right now, like you don't even get anything from it. And what's more important is like I really dislike mid-roll ads, and I really don't want to see mid-roll ads on the podcast. I really, really don't. I really don't want to see mid-roll ads in any of my videos. And the fact that like I don't have control on that is so weird. I really don't get it. Why like, yeah, like that just fucks me the wrong way.
So I could take I think I could be wrong on this. I could deal with mid-roll ads if they were spaced nicely, like they were 30 minutes apart, right? I think I could just about tolerate them, right? Unskippable ads, it depends on whether or not I have any form of interest in the ad. So if it's like Grammarly, hell, you've seen what happened. I rage quit and bloody bought YouTube Premium.
Mm-hmm.
If it's... Sorry, my brain's just frozen. Mid-roll, unskippable... My big fear is that this could create another adpocalypse, right? Because the reason why they upped the threshold of, in order to get monetization, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000
watch hours.
The whole reason why they did that was because of the blowback from channels that had hate speech and all sorts of nasty stuff. That, you know, the adverts for companies like Coca-Cola or whomever were appearing on the...
Yeah, they were appearing alongside it or in front of it. That's why, and we had the Logan Paul situation around that as well.
Yeah, so I'm like, guys, is this not going to blow up in your face? Are you doing this? Is this not giving you the exact same opportunity for it to blow up in your face?
I don't know. Like one thing that also like bigger YouTubers are worrying about is that like the amount of money that any YouTuber makes can go down. Because basically, like right now, like how many channels are there below 1,000 subscribers and how many channels are above it? Like I think they're like the numbers of that might be below it, might be equal, or maybe far more. If you look at like distribution graphs, it might be far more even than like channels above 1,000. So if that all enables like ads right now, then YouTube has so much more place where they can place ads, and if they place ads on them, like they don't have to share the revenue. So where would you place your best ads? Would you place it on like a video where like you gotta do a 50-50 share, or maybe like a 70-30 depending on like what the contracts are? Or would you place them on like 100% for you? So it might just be that like the ad space is just gonna go over to like mainly the channels that like no one makes money of. But like the thing which I don't understand is like one thing that you're saying, yeah, like they're probably gonna get the same criticism. But like look at Twitch, for example. Like Twitch is not great, okay? We've talked about like how Twitch can be pretty bad. But the thing that Twitch does, it's like, okay, if you have 50 people that follow you, which like you can get a couple of your friends to do, like you can stream for like a month. I know, but like just like stream for a bit, like it is doable. It is doable to like get to affiliate or like buy your way in with like Monstercat for $5, like bada bing bada boom, you got affiliate. Like the thing that you find with Twitch, that Twitch also is fine, is that like the moment that like people are able to like get affiliate, they can get like paid for ads, which is like almost nothing, so they barely have to pay that out because like that only takes up to like 100, so that takes an entire like 2 years to fill up. But they also get bits and subscriptions. And what do you find? Like I have not found any channel, or like I've been tough to find like any channel which I follow, and like I follow also a lot of like smaller streamers who like don't have any subscribers. Like most of the time, like if there's someone that like just made affiliate, there's probably like one like very loyal viewer or like one good friend that will just like subscribe once in a while, or every month. Like most of the time, channels do have like one subscriber at least. And like I don't think I've ever gone a month without like a subscriber, thanks to like a couple of people that have been like very loyal to the channel. But like because of that, basically Twitch has from like this one channel a guaranteed income of at least $2.50. And it's like, what do you pay for YouTube Premium right now?
I play £12.
£12 like a month.
Yeah.
So it's like, can you imagine that like, because YouTube also has this thing where you can become a member of a channel. YouTube also has this thing of like text donation sort of thing, like super chats and sort of thing. Like, can you imagine if you just enable that for a channel and let's say one person per channel subscribes for that? It's like $2.50 like per month for like every single like channel that you enable that for. Like that's so much. And it's like that can even increase because like YouTube tends to like have a better reachability. YouTube tends to have better algorithms for like discoverability and like super chats and shit. Like if that can take off, like the idea of super chats where like you can put money in, like it shows up. It doesn't even like display as a donation on Twitch, but it just shows up in there and like the streamer can read out. It's like a great idea. But like they don't enable it for anyone that's below 1,000 subscribers. It's like why? Why do you not take the Twitch route if you are in that desperate need of money, that you need the money from like all the people that are below 1,000 subscribers? Why don't you just do like, okay, hey, you know, you can now, because like, and like, you know, we'll do like the same split sort of thing. Like look at Twitch, it's been working for Twitch. Like I don't get that. I don't get why they don't do that.
I don't know. I really don't know. There could be a multitude of different reasons. I think this has I really hate the subscription model on Twitch. I hate it with a passion. The fact that like you have to subscribe to, or it's incentivized that you subscribe to multiple streamers at once. It's like, what the fuck, you know? We're talking about me spending £12 a month on YouTube, but like, you know, two and a bit Twitch streamers, and you know, I've hit the same number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so it's really difficult.
No, like I mean, like on the one hand, I agree. Like I do think that like, whenever you subscribe to people on Twitch, like you should be well aware of your financial situation. And this should be something that you can do. There's also why like I don't do hype trains or sort of thing. Like if you've never been on Twitch, a hype train is a situation where like if someone subscribes and then someone does it right after, and then someone donates bits, then like something happens so you can like level up the hype train. And I find it like the weirdest shit, because it's just like it incentivizes people like, oh my god, let's get excited because one person that's streaming is getting money and you're giving money to that person. Like it's so weird. It's like I never really got that. I don't want to like cultivate that, because it's like it's such a like, oh, give me money because then like you'll feel great that I got more money. Like that is weird. I don't subscribe to that idea, and also don't subscribe to the idea of like seeing one person for the first time on Twitch be like, hey, what's up, dude? Please give me money. I don't like that. On the other hand, I do think that when it comes to like being able to support creators, it is one of the better ways for Twitch sort of thing. Like if you're on YouTube and you want to support like if you're watching a creator, like it's less incentivized to like support them, or like they get like pimp out merch a lot of the times, or pimp out Patreons, and then you gotta like go offsite and click on that. So like it's less integrated. And when it comes to like for creators to make money, it is like the best way for Twitch. Like for Twitch, like you'll be the quickest to money, to like actually having physically money, because like it is baked into like the server sort of thing. Like there is a way to like directly throw bits at people. There's a way to directly like subscribe to people, and I do like that, because like what if I'm on YouTube and I like, want to support someone? Like I'm just gonna watch ads all the time. Like that, like that's not really gonna support them. And if I do want to go, like they have this membership function, but again, only 4,000 up. So I do like a part of it where it's like, hey, you know, if you want to support the stream or if you want to support a creator, it's like the function is right there. But it definitely depends like the way that people approach it. And like I really try to keep it like, yo, if you want to, go for it, but like I don't want to throw way too many benefits or anything at it, because it's like it's not a measure of support sort of thing. On the one hand it is, but on the other hand it's like, does the person that has the money to like spend on you like you more than the person that really watches every single fucking stream and like can't spend a dime because they're broke? It's like, yeah, like I mean, like some people like use it as like a measuring stick, and I don't like that. And again, like I also feel that like, yeah, go ahead.
I feel the biggest problem here is the fact that this is something that YouTube and Twitch are really bad for, right? As platforms, right? There is no easy way to find someone that is to give someone a chance to be up and coming,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's no room for growth on any of these platforms. If you've grown, if you've pushed against the odds, you're there. Big bada boom. We now like you, right? It's like these platforms incentivize. We only like the popular kid, right? We put the popular kid on a pedestal, and like, but what if I want to be the popular kid? No. We only put the popular kid on a pedestal. Yeah, but how can I be popular if I'm not on the pedestal? No. We only put the popular kid on, and like the system is logically flawed, right? So one of the projects I worked on for my job, I have to be kind of vague.
Yeah.
Is simple example, right? Imagine a car dealership, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, right, we want a search filter option, right? So a sort by option, which shows the most popular car first, right? What's the problem with that?
Then what will be the most popular car at the start when you create that will always remain to be the most popular car because people click on the first thing they find, or maybe the second thing they find.
That's literally it. That's the problem, right? The people will click on the first thing they find, and so conceptually, it's flawed. If you had a popular sort by popular as a option that is in the sort by, but it's not the default, right? Awesome. If you had a recommended, right, and the recommended could be on a special thing, like there's the cars that have been clicked on and things like that, but then there's also a sale factor, an external influence to popularity things. But it's still got a problem, the fact that whatever's popular first will always be popular, right? Why aren't these other cars selling? Well, it's because no one clicks on them. It's like, but why aren't they clicking on them? Because of this stupid popularity thing. I said it before. I'm saying it again. It's a dumb feature. And the recommended of YouTube, the recommended tab on YouTube sucks fucking balls, right? It is the worst possible feature of YouTube. I goddamn hate it.
So is it worse than trending?
Yes, it is genuinely worse than trending, right? Because trending, I can go to trending and go, right, what's let's look at gaming. Trending on gaming. Oh look, Mr. Beast is playing Among Us, right? These are actual video games, right? Oh, cool, right? If I go to trending on films, oh look, there's a trailer for the new Tom and Jerry's film, trailer for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, cool, whatever, right? If I look at the home page, the recommended, right? I've got really weird. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh, WandaVision. It's a cutscene from Captain America: Civil War, right? Like, the amount of pirated stuff on YouTube is astronomical, and the amount that it bloody puts in front of you is just, how are you not getting that this is pirated?
Well, I mean, I'd like this is where I'd like to introduce my new channel strategy for getting to 1,000 subscribers so I can get monetization. From now on, we will only stream 24/7 Family Guy, live stream all episodes. We'll expect the channel to hit 1 million subscribers by next week. But yeah, no, that is it is weird what they put in recommended. I find trending also quite obnoxious with how half of it is sold out to mainstream media that try to keep up. It's I fucking hate that. So I never look at recommended. I never look at trending. I'll just look at my subscription feed, and that's what it is. But it is a make it or break it thing where it's you really if you get there, you get there. If you don't get there, you don't get there. There is like, I mean, there's many industries like also within like athletics and stuff. Like there is like this kind of thing where it's like, hey, like you can be like if you're second best sort of thing. Like you can have put in like a lot of time and a lot of hard work, but if you don't make it, like you don't get anything. And if you make it, you get everything. There is definitely a part of that in YouTube and Twitch. The hard part, which I think is, or like the interesting part that I think is, when it comes to sports, when it comes to athletics, like again, there always plays a part where like you don't have to be the best to win. So like I have had like, especially when it came to swimming, like there have been so many people that like were so much better than me, and they just all quit way before I did. So like again, like not always the best will win. But you find out with YouTube and Twitch a lot more, where it's like it doesn't matter like how much you up your quality sort of thing. If you don't have a way of like getting new viewers in, like you can have the best looking videos and you're not going to experience like the growth, like you're not going to like see that result come back. As compared to like someone that's like got a lot more cloud sort of thing, that's just putting out like barely any effort videos. And that's not like calling someone out, but it's just like that is kind of the way it's set up. And
I completely agree. Like the shocking thing to me for YouTube is that it doesn't go, look, you know, we can see that Zeno likes Game Grumps, he likes Markiplier, and he likes Binging with Babish. There's a 76% chance that from looking at these 3 channels alone, he will like Best Ever Food Review Show, right? There's none of this, right? It is just, we know you've seen this, right? We know you've watched the Game Grumps. Like, I know I fucking watched the Game Grumps. I'm subscribed to them. They're in my fucking subscription feed. If you want people to grow, which evidently they do not, right? You've got to be able to give the wild card factor. I've got the fucking Boris Johnson, like literally, right? I don't know what it's like for you, but on the UK YouTube, I've got 2 rows of recommended things, and then I've got an entire row of fucking Boris Johnson's face because of COVID.
Oh my god!
It has been there since fucking March.
That is crazy. I mean, I'm not signed in on like YouTube on my computer because every single time I get out of my browser, it like clears everything. So most of the time I'm on YouTube without like being signed in. So I don't know like how accurate it would be. So like I don't have that much experience with it. But yeah, like it's like this has been a situation for like a long time. Is there a way to change it? Like I think something which is interesting is when it comes around to like, I mean, look at Among Us, for example. Like that has been like a big boost to many creators. Look at, for example, like I found a couple people like Corpse and Five Up, for example, which are like, I don't know like what Corpse did before and how big he was. I think he had like around 1 million subscribers and he blew up to like 3 million, 4 million maybe right now. Because he just was playing with like a bunch of big people, and like all of a sudden like I mean like he's got that beautiful voice, and his gameplay is pretty smart. And like Five Up, I don't know like where necessarily he came from. I think his channel is rather new, and he's just broke past like 500k, and he's still growing, I think. So it's like there is still like this possibility for like meteor for like rise, but like it's got to be like you got to be in the perfect circumstance, and basically like your strategy for growing on YouTube, as far as I see it, and like again, like how right am I? Because like if I knew, I would have gamed the system by now. It's just
honestly, I would seriously love it if there was a platform for either content creators or viewers to say, if you like such and such, you'll probably like this one over here. But nothing like that exists.
I'm actually I'm actually like working on something for creators. Like it's very early on, so I'm not going to talk about it on the podcast yet, and like I don't want to get in trouble with anyone when I talk about it. But the idea kind of is like something which I always wanted to have. Like one of my dreams sort of thing was if I would grow big, then I would like to create a way in which people can have at least an entryway, and then like it would be up to their own devices sort of thing. Because like one thing which like bothers me quite a bit, or is that like I've been in this like YouTube space for like 5 years by now. I started in 2015. Now, of course, like my first year, I wasn't really all that focused. So let's say like 3 years I've been doing this like somewhat focusedly. But the thing is, like, the thing that I find quite annoying is that if you take a look at why I did so well in Warframe, was because I got an in Warframe with like the Warframe fan channel program, and then I got to meet like you and Hydroxide and like all the Warframe creators that I met at the time, and because of that, I was able to do like a bunch of things within Warframe. Like I got to know a lot of people, and like a lot of people got to know me for that community. And I know that a bunch of like my people have found me through like Mogamu or Defton or you or Joey or Xandy. And that's been like very, very helpful. And I think like if you look at Among Us, that's the same way that went. And the only way that I was able to do it was because there was a path when I started with Warframe content. There was a path of like, hey, if you want to become a Warframe creator, you can do so. And it wasn't really that it gave you anything much, but it gave you an in to like have you do the effort if you wanted to reach out to a bunch of people. And it gave you an in for like, hey, here you can go. Right now, for example, like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know if I've spoken about this before, but like, I feel like YouTube is like a certain like club where like you have to get in order to like grow, sort of thing. So like, it feels as though like if you reach a certain amount of subscribers, there will be a point in time where like you get access to like the secret messaging app, which like all of the YouTubers use, because like there is no way that you can reach out to anyone. Above like 100K or something, because like they'll all have everything blocked. They will not accept any messages on like Discord or whatever, because they always get spammed. However, for some reason, like they'll always find a way to like play Among Us together, like play this together, or like set up these collaborations. And that's just not possible if you're smaller, or at least as far as like I can tell. So like I think that it would be like amazing if there would be a way where it's like, if you have that like in that I had with Warframe, if you had that with like YouTube, where it would be like, hey, you know, if you're serious about this, here is an end that you can get. And if you want to like get in touch with anyone, if you want to like participate in anything, if you want to make use of anything, like it's up to you. You got to put in the effort, but there is a way, instead of like just waiting and hoping that the God Almighty algorithm at some point will like come and rescue you. Now, that's always been like my plan. Like, oh my God, like if I get big, I'll do that. But like that's a shit excuse, because like it's been 3 years later, and like, you know, I'm still not big, or at least I don't feel so, because some people will look at my channel, and like I think we've spoken about that before, where like some people look at your channel like, oh my God, he's got like 13K subscribers. Wow, dude. And you're just like, yeah, man,
it's nothing.
Hell yeah. Like, and like at the same time, like I look at my channel on Twitch, and like I do have 2,150 something followers on Twitch, which is not like ninja levels, but it's also not like 2. And I'm like, I've been thinking to myself like, hey, you know, should like have I just been like not living in like an excuse sort of thing, where it's like, oh yeah, I'll do it when I get big. And maybe there are people that are like looking up to like me right now, or like looking up to like streamers of my size right now, and like thinking the same thing. They're like, oh my God, they're unreachable, or like, oh, I can't contact them. So I'm like, what if I like start something like this? What if I like execute my idea in small form right now already? If I begin that, then at least I can get started. And like if the channel grows, I can expand on it. And if it doesn't, then like, you know, it like I've at least done it, and I haven't hidden behind an excuse. And maybe I can help other people grow. Maybe I can help new starting creators grow. And it's like,
yeah,
for like, I think that the best thing that could potentially happen, and this is something which like I feel like a lot of creators are afraid of, is like if they like feature someone, that they will grow bigger than them, or like they'll take over their audience, sort of thing. It's like, I think the best thing that could happen possibly with like this thing that I'm going to try and do is that someone comes along and they just destroy my channel, sort of thing. They just like they just like start out with like 1 viewer, they like, and I can help them grow, and they just like blow up to like millions of viewers, sort of thing. Like that would be like the best case scenario, because first of all, like someone grew, and who knows, maybe they'll return the favor, maybe they don't, but at least, you know, you knew that you were able to help them.
I think the problem is that like YouTube and Twitch and anything that's a popularity contest, it's a pyramid scheme, right?
Mm-hmm.
This might sound weird, but you know, oh, it's the top people say like, you know, oh, I will give you like, you know, say you're top of a Twitch channel, it's like, I will bestow upon you my team members, all the viewers I have, and like. And then it's like, oh, no, this person that's laterally next to me, I'll give them my tip. No, send it down. But it's not. It's never a send it down. It's always a push it up, right? Which is the whole principle of a pyramid scheme. right?
Mhm.
Same goes with oh god, YouTube, right? It's the popularity thing is a whole pyramid scheme. I think that if there was, I'd love to be like someone that turns around and creates a movement that just basically says, you know, not equal rights, but like equal opportunity for everyone when it comes to the creator stuff. But it's just nope.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
It definitely does.
Actually, let's bring this back because like
Yeah.
we've been on this for a little
Yeah,
while.
I mean, like I was thinking, like we've been on like YouTube and Twitch for a while. Like basically, like I mean, like there's not much that we can do about it. I just think it kind of like it kind of sucks that like YouTube does this ad thing without paying anyone. Like, and it's also gonna be weird. Like, what if they demonetize the channel and then still throw ads on it? And like, what was the point of demonetizing it? You know?
Yeah.
However, like we'll see how it changes, and yeah, we'll keep you updated on whatever happens. Shall we move on to Among Us? Next topic.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So, Enderslav teases a new map for Among Us. So last week, Among Us created a Twitter account, which hopefully we'll be able to like show right now, right here. And they posted up a tweet with a picture of a new map in Among Us. Not much is known apart from like this one picture. However, they will be revealing more details around with the Game Awards in December 10th, I think. I think that
the
will be
same release date as Cyberpunk 2077. Are they mad?
possibly. Like, what will happen? What like which category will top Twitch? That could be a good betting thing. If you guys want to bet, like which directory will top Twitch, Cyberpunk or Among Us? That might even be close.
Or let's not go into gambling. Let's not
bet our honor.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so they gave the information, but they also released a new update with some notable features that Among Us is planning an account system to allow people to be banned. Because right now, like they don't like basically like you can be banned from lobbies, but you can't be banned from the game if you're like cheating and shit. They're working on like many languages, including French, Italian, German, Spanish, Dutch, Russian, Portuguese, Japanese, Korean, and Filipino languages to be to have the game being worldwide. And the mobile version, this is actually quite interesting. Apparently, the mobile version has had some problems with like inappropriate ads showing. So if you're playing Among Us on mobile, it's a free to play. You can buy it for free. You can get it for free, and like ads will show like in between like games. And apparently, inappropriate ads have been shown, and people have complained about that. So Inderslav has turned around and said, "All right, well, we're sorry about that, and there are no ads on Among Us for the rest of 2020. So if you're a free user, like there should be no more ads on Among Us for the rest of the year to make up for like any inappropriate ads that have shown."
Wow.
Which I think is a pretty cool move. Like seriously, like for a mobile game developer that like gets a lot of revenue from ads being played, for them to just come up and say like, "Well, that's it." It's like I think that's pretty cool.
I completely agree. I think that is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, have you still been playing like Among Us recently, or has it been like a long time?
I've had no time. I want to play it, but I've just been trying to get on top of like literally everything, and I've got to get to 60 in World of Warcraft, dude.
Oh.
I can't. If Loz like says to me once get to 60, I will be a failure at life.
Mm-hmm. Gotta be on that grind. Honestly, I'm quite happy that they're releasing a map soon because like the game has, of course, like seen such a like big increase in attention. However, like it's been going on for so long. I was not expecting it to go on for this long. Most of the time, like look at Fall Guys. Like when was the last time you heard someone talk about Fall Guys? Like that was the.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think Among Us has been quite a underdog, situation. Yeah, I'm really happy with how underdog how Among Us has taken over.
Yeah, no, like I'm really surprised that that's been able to stay around for so long, especially with like no new content sort of thing. So like I'm happy to see, like I'm very curious to see like how the map will go down. And yeah, like if that comes around with Cyberpunk, god dang, that will be a busy day. Anyway, that was like a little bit of news of Among Us. Then we have the next topic. We're flying through them, but we should, given our time. Nintendo is doing great Nintendo things, like shutting down an online Super Smash Melee tournament. Oh boy, don't you love it? Don't you love those pesky little fans of yours, like doing tournaments of your game? Damn it. So last week, Nintendo shut down the Super Smash Melee tournament. This tournament, hosted by The Big House, is like a yearly tournament sort of thing where like people compete in like competitive Super Smash Melee, which is like the GameCube Super Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah.
This tournament was forced to be held online because of Corona. We're all part of it. We all know about it. However, in order to do this online, in order to play this GameCube game online, the tournament had to use emulators and a mod to allow the game to be played online via people at home and using emulators. However, Nintendo instead of like support or sponsorships, they sent a cease and desist, because that's sort of the same, to shut down their fan tournament. They claimed that they appreciated the love and dedication to their game, which I highly doubt. Nintendo claimed that the Big House would have required to use illegally copied versions of the Super Smash Bros. Games, and that's why they had to shut it down. Especially the mod would require emulators, and emulators are illegal. After this announcement, the hashtag #FreeMelee went trending on Twitter, with people trying to stop Nintendo from actively canceling their fans' tournament. I don't think it's been turned around, though.
That's really surprising. So my understanding was that emulators weren't illegal. It's the active participation of playing emulated games is illegal. It's like, I mean, it might be different depending on the country, but in the UK, it's not illegal to own a bong, but it is illegal to use one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like a weird fine line. Now, I thought it was perfectly legal for you to play an emulated game as long as you owned a physical copy of the game, right? Because a lot of games these days, especially older ones, they will not work on newer pieces of hardware. Like, I couldn't get the original Crysis to work on my Windows 10 machine. Apparently, you can do it, right? Because in the Xeno Codex that I mentioned earlier, one of the guys got some footage of it. But God, where was I with this? But I couldn't get it to work. Now, I thought I was going to have to emulate it. There are some games like the Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. It's a Windows 95 game, right? For Pete's sake. You can't get it to work on Windows 10 in any capacity. So you have to run an emulator. Same with older, like just other DOS games, right? Like Dungeon Keeper 1 or, oh God, what's the other one? Theme Hospital or stuff like that. You know, in order to get them to work, you need to run them on an emulator because they need to run on, you know. But the GameCube, I don't think works on the internet. So I'm, you know, it's kind of shitty of Nintendo.
It is. I mean, like I can I can understand that when it's like a game that you're actively selling and people are like using emulators to run the tournament, like 100%, man. Like, cease and desist that, kind of, because like if you're actively selling a game, it's like you're selling an online game and someone's like ripping it off and then like using a tournament to host it with like illegal copies. Like, yeah, dude, for sure. But like, where is Nintendo selling new copies of Super Smash Bros. Melee? Please show me the store where they're actively selling new copies of Super Smash Bros. Melee, and at the same time, show me the place where I can play that disc on a GameCube and play it in an online tournament. Like, it's literally like it's impossible. Like, they're not selling it anymore. It's not for online. And it's like a lot of people also showed pictures of them like holding the game in their hands, showing that like they actually own the thing. Like, pretty much everyone that's like competing in that tournament. I'm not quite I'm not 100% sure of it, but I feel like rather certain that people that will be competing in a competitive tournament of Melee will actually own the game, because they have to play it a lot if they want to be good in a competitive tournament. So they will own maybe multiple copies even of it. So it's like, it's so weird that like, especially when it's such an old game like this, that they're so stingy about, oh my God, now this tournament, which every year uses just like this tournament with like the actual games, but now they have to go online. Well, let's just fuck with them. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. It's like, especially because this tournament could definitely like be a thing where like people look at Super Smash, for example, Super Smash Melee, they're like, oh hell yeah, that looks really cool. Because like let's say it's on the front page of Twitch, people that might not know about Super Smash, like I don't know how many there are, but there might still be people that don't know about Super Smash. They're just like on the front page of Twitch, they see this thing pop up, they're like, oh shit, oh I quite like this game. What's like the current version I can buy? Oh, it's on the Switch. Oh, I got a Switch. Or maybe I don't even have a Switch. Let me buy a Switch and buy this game because it looks so much fun. It's like, well, no, like you don't want to have that free advertisement because it's like emulated games that you don't even sell anymore and you haven't sold for like more than a decade. It's so weird. I really, really don't get it.
Yeah. It's like, don't get me wrong. I mean, this will popularize emulation of video games and things like that. So I get like, oh, don't popularize piracy. Fair enough. But yeah.
I mean, like again, like it depends on like when are we talking about piracy and when we're talking about like preservation of games and being able to play the games you have on like modern equipment. Because let's say, for example,
oh fuck yeah,
like the thing that I find is like, yeah, like if there's a game that's currently like you can currently buy from, like, okay, so actually like let's change it up to games hardware, for example. So I personally find that whenever like there's a console out right now and I have that console, like I want to buy the official gear for that console, like the official controller. Like I don't like having these third party ones or like these knockoffs like that look exactly the same but aren't the thing, because like it doesn't feel right. However, recently I've bought like we've bought like a third party Nintendo Wii remote, because like the Wii remotes that we have were like broken, and like you can't buy the official ones anymore. Like you may be able to buy them secondhand for like insane prices because they're like unopened boxes. But if you want to have a new one, Nintendo doesn't make them anymore. So the only way to get them is to go third party. And I don't have a problem with that once they don't sell it anymore, because like then it's like, well, that's the only option I have. And that's the same thing I found with games. Is like the moment that like a game's actively being sold, like let's say Cyberpunk comes out like in a month's time or like in 2 weeks' time on December 10th, like, and then if you go and like download it, like buy a legally ripped game of it, it's like, yeah, dude, like that is like no, please don't, like please support the developers. But let's say, for example, that like in 50 or 80 years time, like that just doesn't exist anymore. They don't sell it anymore. And like you want to have a copy of it, like you want to play this, but it's barely, like you can't find it anywhere. You can't buy it from the developers. You can't buy it from like the studio that publishes. You can't buy it from anyone. It's like at that point, I'd rather have there be emulators.
I totally get where you're coming from, because again, like the whole Blood Omen story. I love Blood Omen. It's one of the first action RPGs that I played.
Mm-hmm.
I played it way before I should have, because it's like it's got very like it's like clearly a 15 kind of thing, because you know you're killing people and drinking their blood and shit.
Oh.
And, like, anyway, so it like I'm totally in favor for like maybe if it was just a case of like these companies like Sony or Nintendo or whomever, right? They sold a disk drive that could go into a computer and it would emulate the game. And then you could have the legal version of the game and still play it because you're playing it on an emulator on your PC, right? Like, I'd be 100% on board for that.
Well, like...
Right? Even if it was like for a Sega Mega Drive and shit like that. But, you know, the hardware fails, right?
Yeah, but also the disc will fail. Like, let's say they don't print discs anymore. Like how many like original like Atari cartridges or NES cartridges are still remaining, and how many like are gonna like fail over the next coming year, sort of thing. Like if no new ones get made, like you can run a disc and like it will break and you can't buy it anymore.
You're not wrong. You're totally not wrong. I mean, I always admire Aaron Egoraptor's collection on the Game Grumps. Like his collection is like fuck. Like it's hella impressive. But fuck, what can I say? I mean,
it's a weird territory, because like it's like looking at like the line of like, okay, so it's that like intellectual property. So like you own something, you sell something, you put work in it, and then like like you don't want people to rip it off. But at the same time, like the moment that it stops being sold and it stops being made, then like what do you do with it? It's like the same with like dead franchises, for example. It's like what's gonna happen with it? Like what do you do with it?
You reboot it and you destroy the original as hard as you physically can.
You can, yeah, you can, but it's weird because like Super Smash Melee is still a Nintendo game, but they don't sell it anymore. So it's like, what now? Like the Nintendo GameCube is still a Nintendo console, but they don't sell it anymore. So what now? And it's like it's so weird because you have this thing where they don't care about it anymore to sell it. They don't care about it anymore to like take care of it, but at the same time they care enough to like say, oh, no one else gets to have this either.
I'm wondering if this is also part of the whole what's the name of the damn thing, Michelle? The whole you have to protect what's yours.
The Fortnite thing where it's like
if you don't take them to court, then it can be used against you, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if it's anything to do with that. I mean, the judicial system is really fucking corrupt, But anyway, should we move on?
Let's move on to Cyberpunk, and let's actually move on to your Cyberpunk topic because we've talked a lot about YouTube and stuff. So let's just talk let's just go with Cyberpunk retail copies being leaked. Let's take to the topic.
Okay, so Cyberpunk retail copies have been stolen and gameplay has been leaked.
Ooh.
Which is potentially why we've got so few viewers, by the way, when you put Cyberpunk gets leaked in the title. But anyway, I'll never it's because probably we're streaming on a Thursday, but ignoring that.
It's probably
on November
streaming on Thursday.
Yeah.
Because wouldn't you want to see Cyberpunk before it's out?
No. I'd rather experience it for myself.
Me too, actually.
While we were talking, and I was ranting about the whole YouTube homepage recommendations bullshit, I ended up scrolling down and I saw a playthrough of Cyberpunk. I'm like, do not recommend channel ever again. Right, so on November 22nd, a Reddit thread was posted titled, "We're almost there, boys. I actually had the game in my hands," and showed a photo of the physical copy of the game stacked on multiple other copies. There is no sign of this being a fake, and the thread links to multiple shots of the game with the back of the box and a crate of other copies, right? Shortly after this, on the same day, another thread by a different user appeared titled, "Cyberpunk PS5 gameplay leaked. Spoilers, obviously."
Ooh.
Right? And contained a video and mirror of that video. Contained a video and a mirror of that video, while the video was quickly removed by Reddit after a copyright claim, and both videos are now marked private on YouTube. The content was copied and is out on the internet if you take the time to find it. Right. While many are currently taking this as a sign that Cyberpunk's multiple times delayed release will actually be the current date of December 10th, with no more delays, there is the fact that this is the second big name game in as many years to have the physical copy stolen before the release date.
Mm-hmm.
For reference, the previous big name game to have this happen was Kingdom Hearts 3, which had physical copies stolen and sold on eBay, with many people recording and leaking highly anticipated spoilers weeks ahead of the official release. It's important to note that Square Enix had a plan in case this happened, where the epilogue of the game and the secret ending was actually given out as a patch after the official release date and were not available on the base game disc, meaning that the players who had illegal copies actually missed out on those until they started the new game saves. That's hilarious. That's actually pretty damn funny, right? We will see going forward if if CD Projekt Red have taken the lesson on and have similar secrets hidden from thieves. One thing we do know related to the idea of patch content is that the delay to December 10th was because CD Projekt Red is working on a day zero patch. This is to fix the issues that have come to light that they were unable to fix for the earlier release date. So any physical copy on the market right now will have those bugs and glitches still present. And players who have illegally obtained them will not have the better quality of product that the people waiting for the release will have. From the leaked Cyberpunk content, players have learned a few things that are not spoilers, such as the game appears to be split across 2 discs. The physical copy comes with some bonuses such as stickers, postcards, and a physical game map, and the game size appears to be around 70 gig. As of right now, there has been no official word on the illegal copies of from CD Projekt Red. So we can only be careful online if we want to avoid major spoilers from the game before we get to play it ourselves. So, how do you feel about this?
There is many interesting elements around this. The first thing.
Okay, I'm gonna simplify it. Right.
No.
Two things. First off, the fact that it looks like we're getting it for December 10th.
That is really good.
Okay, that's
I'm really
good.
happy about that.
They've said we're still on board for the 10th. We have no plans on changing it. So right, okay. And the second thing, the fact that I'm going to glaze over the fact that it was stolen because that was bound to happen. But the fact that I want to say perforated. It made its way to the internet with people sharing spoilers and all the sorts.
It definitely will. I can remember whenever there would be big important reveals of new content, especially with around the Warframe time. People that could get it the earliest always got the most views. So people always wanted to get the update as fast as possible, so they could throw it out as fast as possible. So I can imagine with Cyberpunk, if you can obtain the game, if you can play the game already right now, and you can make a video about that, not taking into account you'll probably be taken down. You'll get a lot of views and you'll get a lot of attention. That was the thing that we were talking about earlier. It's people will do anything for attention because it's such a hard game to get into. I don't think it's going to be beneficial very much because if you're known as the guy that leaked Cyberpunk and you got famous for that, good luck getting companies to work with you again. But I can imagine why people would want to get the scoop on it. And I was also thinking is there any way to not have this happen, given that look at how insane prices are right now for things like graphics cards or the Ryzen Zen 3 series, which are unobtainable because stock is just running out. So can you imagine if you could get that early, just you can get this game early, how much money would people be willing to offer to get that game early, get that game before anyone else, so that you can a month before time just show off to your friends, look at this, I already got it. It's I'm pretty sure that the people will be able to be willing to pay a lot of money for that. And then if you have if these things are already being shipped to game stores and there's someone working there for for minimum wage, it's hey, if they don't notice one, how they're gonna notice one's gone, and if you can sell it for a couple $100, it's that's a couple $100. I'm wondering I can definitely see how this can happen. That doesn't mean that it's a good thing that happens. But it's something where I'm wondering okay, so should you then as companies be or as game developers be oh well, we're only going to ship it as late as possible, but then you're going to have the entire RTX situation where there is just no stock and people can't buy anything. So I think it's definitely always going to be something which you're going to run into, that you might lose copies along the way. And then you might be forced to an approach of, hey, we're gonna not have a full complete game. You're gonna have to update it, and we'll only release the fixing update the moment that we let the game go live.
Yeah, I mean, the only other instance that this really stands out to me is Half-Life 2.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago. So, one of the most notoriously insecure email clients in the world today. Do you want to have a hazard a guess?
What would it be? Would probably be something that a lot of people use. Outlook or something, or
Exactly. It's Microsoft Outlook. It's like it's probably gotten better, but God, I mean, 10, 15, 20 years ago, it was awful, right? Like, basically, people would get viruses because Outlook would see an attachment in the body and then execute it,
oh my god,
right? Yeah, people like viruses would spread so much through email, it was untrue. And like I had a huge problem where my God, like this is story time with Zeno.
yeah.
When I was 16, 17, maybe 18, I don't know what. So my mum would sit in the dining room where my computer was. We didn't use the dining room to eat. I just had my computer in there, and she would sit in there where the telephone was to talk to her sister every Sunday morning, right? And I would turn my computer on, and this virus that was on the computer would start up my email client and then porn, right? Right.
Oh.
So my mom was I was in the living room. I was watching like cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons, and my mum was in the dining room and just face full of porn, right? While she's on the phone. Now my mum just cares like, Drew, can you come and explain something to me? Like, where is? Oh my God, And I was having it for months. I just couldn't fucking get rid of it, right? In the end, I had to reformat the computer to get rid of this fucking virus because, every single time I opened the computer, more viruses were downloaded, right?
Oh man.
So this is when I didn't know any better of how to use a computer, and I was fucking muppet, But with Half-Life 2, the big thing was that someone had downloaded a backdoor into Valve's network through Outlook, right?
Oh.
So someone hacked into the Valve network and just downloaded a copy of Half-Life 2 as it was. They then had to slam on the brakes and go, right, we now have a year to redo huge chunks of the game.
Damn.
Right? Because it was everywhere. This was before Valve. Sorry, Steam. So this was the whole thing that ushered Steam. Like, if you want to play Half-Life 2, you have to validate the game online. Because before, serial keys were a joke. I don't know how old the majority of our audience is, but before you would get a game and it would have a serial key. And what you would do during installation, you were given an opportunity to enter the serial key. And when you did, it would go, yep, that's a legitimate serial key. Bob's your uncle. When you pirated games, people would just upload their serial keys, right, on the internet, and then you just play the game, perfectly legitimate.
Yep.
Because how the serial keys worked was by you would divide various different sections of the key by a number, right, and then taking a specific remainder, right, from each section. Like you run some maths on it. After you've run the maths and you yep, this is a perfectly legitimate key. There you go. You're in. Yeah. So it was only until Half-Life 2 that they went, you know what, you have to register the key online. And that's how we actually make sure that the key is legitimate. We check to see online if the key is a legitimate copy of the key. There you go.
I mean, like, local validation is very easy to
break into, yeah.
To break, sort of thing.
Yeah.
One thing that I was wondering about a little bit, though, especially when it comes to like these day one patches, sort of things that they're talking about, which could be a way to fix it. Like, just ship a broken game on the disc and then you have to download, because like every single time if you get a console, you got to download. If you get a game, you got to download. That could be a way that it could work. At the same time, I'm also wondering, like, what if you have a console like in a place where there is no internet? What if you live like in a cabin in the woods, or you live in the center of Birmingham and you have like the shittiest internet? Then like every single time you want to play a game, like you gotta wait hours and hours for the thing to download, because otherwise you just like you have a broken game, you can't play it. It's like, isn't that like a bit annoying?
I do agree with you in a very large way, but what's the alternative? I mean, people have proven that they can't be trusted to, like, so when I was younger, I don't think they do it now. On DVDs, you would get this like little advertised clip that says, you wouldn't steal a car, you wouldn't steal a handbag, you wouldn't steal a house, you wouldn't steal all this stuff. Like, don't steal videos, or like movies or something like that. Piracy is illegal, and like it was this huge thing. Like, I'm sorry, like the only reason why people steal this stuff is because they think they can get away with it, right? I'm sorry, yes, you would steal a car if you think you could get away with it, right? You would steal a house if you thought you could get away with it. You would steal a moon if you thought you could get away with it. That's the whole point, right? You know, these companies, they push the whole moral high ground bullshit. It's like, no, we're just trying to convince you not to steal our stuff because it's so easy to do it, right?
I mean, like, I was talking about it like yesterday on stream, where I was like, I am quite surprised with how the modern day online landscape has formed for media. For example, with Netflix, for example, with Spotify. I was not expecting, when I was in high school and this thing was coming along, where the internet would actually bring you media and stuff, that this would be something that would catch on. Because back in the day, the only way that you could get things was like you bought a disc, or you bought a VHS, or like you watched it on the TV. But so if you had to go to the internet, then most of the time people went to the internet to get it for free. And then I was wondering, if people already are going to the internet, then why would they pay if they're already going out their way to get it from the internet? So it's quite amazing that people that this is actually turned around, where now the general consensus is like people get it from the internet and they're still paying for it, which is really cool, because if it didn't, then like nothing would get made anymore. But it is.
You're right. You're spot on right. The hilarious thing is, though, that God, I want to say, well, we're 2020 now, so probably about 15 years ago, there was this huge crackdown on torrents, right? Now, torrents are made in such a way that it's really difficult to kill the source. Right? So with something like Napster or Kazaa or LimeWire, like, all you had to do was kill the hosting application. You just had to kill Napster. You just had to kill LimeWire. You just had to kill Kazaa, right? And then no one could pirate stuff. But with torrents, you had a separation between the client that was used on the person's computer and the tracker, which there could be hundreds of thousands of trackers, and you couldn't nuke them all,
Mhm.
right? And there was this huge push, like, oh, we need to kill the Pirate Bay. We need to kill shit. What was it? Supernova? I think it was called Supernova. Like, so many big torrent websites, right? They'd kill them, and what would happen? Another one would take its place. Oh, we have to kill kick-ass torrents, and another one would take its place. It was like a hydra. You chop off one head, several more would take its place. Right?
It's pretty much that there would be so many computers, there's so many places where this data would be hosted on, that even if you were to take down sites, and you still have that with current, like, they're still around if you want to find them. I would not recommend it, like, speaking publicly, but if you could still find them. And the way that I feel that they work is, you have so many sites, and like if you take down one of them, you'll, like, 5 more will appear. And because of that, I think it's a very long process, or a very costly process, to like to go after a site and take it down, or go after a host and take it down. So big companies can do that for 1 or 2 or a couple. But if they just keep spawning so many times that it almost becomes unfruitful for people to go after them, because it costs them so much money to look up all these sites, then look up who is hosting them, send the cease and desist, and all that sort of stuff. The moment that's no longer, that costs more money than they're losing by the thing being up, they're probably gonna give up. And I think that is the way that the piracy has been existing for a long time. That it's just, you kill one, 5 more appear, and it never ends.
So one of the really interesting things is that with the sort of birth of Netflix, the demand for torrents and things like that it started dwindling, right? Mm-hmm. Because there was a legitimate, easy way to get a hold of this content without having to resort to piracy. Mm-hmm. People would buy, and it was great. And then we had we've got HBO Online, or we've got Hulu, or we've got Disney Plus, and there was this huge explosion of so many different platforms that, as a result, torrenting just exploded. It was like, because everyone wanted a slice of the pie, right? Adult Swim, they're going to have their own platform. Fucking why?
I do think there's one thing which we might have to consider a little bit. I agree with you that the beauty of Netflix was that it had everything. Back when it started, Netflix, you went there and had everything. You could just pay a small monthly fee, you get everything. Now, they're so separating where every single producer of content is pulling their things from Netflix, throwing it on their own servers, and you gotta pay extra monthly fees. So it becomes so expensive if you want to subscribe to them all that, again, now some other methods are becoming more appealing to people. At the same time, like, we are looking at Netflix and being, the Netflix of the early days was beautiful because everything was on Netflix. And at the same time, we're also saying, the situation is horrible with YouTube and Twitch because it's only YouTube and Twitch and there's no competitors. So I'm kind of wondering, aren't we making conflicting statements here where we would love to see that that Netflix would have everything again, and there wouldn't be this large separation of services where we all have to pay for every service if we want to get to everything. It would be better if it was all one again. And then also complain about, but YouTube is so bad because it's only YouTube and there's no competitors, and competition always makes things better. Isn't there any conflicting thing in there, or is it so different that the opposites kind of work?
No, there is. So I think it's situational, right? Mm-hmm. Because everyone says that competition makes things better, but look at Steam and the Epic Game Store. Right? Mm-hmm. Epic Games still hasn't fucking changed. It still hasn't improved. Even after not Bobby Kotick, that's the Activision guy. Oh god, the one from Gearbox. I can't remember what his name is. Promising like, oh
Randy.
yeah, you hate, huh?
Wasn't
Yeah,
it like Randy?
Randy Pitchford. That
Yeah.
was it. After he turned around to like, oh yeah, well by the time Borderlands 3 comes out, Epic Games Store will be infinitely better. Then it's not. It's fucking not. Right. Same with Origin. Origin's still a piece of trash. Same with Uplay, still a piece of trash. So yes, competition does incentivize innovation, right? But if there's the competition is like, I see your tractor wheel and I'll raise you a bicycle wheel, I'm like, they're not on the same fucking tier. You can't fucking put a bicycle wheel on a tractor. Tractor will fucking fall over.
I think a thing that Unique brings up in chat saying, the thing is Netflix you need to pay for and YouTube and Twitch are free for the most part. There is obviously a form of payment with YouTube and Twitch where if you use the free version, you're watching ads. However, I do feel there is a bit of truth in there, in the sense that if there will be a competitor to YouTube, let's say PewDiePie moves over to the competitor of YouTube along with other very notable creators like Markiplier, like the Game Grumps, like Xenogalion, like Joey Zero, they'll move over, and everyone is like, "Oh my God, Joey Zero and Xeno are moving over there," and then it's like, "Oh yeah, PewDiePie and the Game Grumps as well." But let's say that happens, then it's a far easier thing for people to get into because you just go to a different website, and I think that we'll see a dramatic shift for YouTube in its traffic if there is a valid competitor, because people are more easily to move over there and doesn't cost them anything more, anything less. However, I feel when it comes to Netflix and let's say Disney Plus, which I think Disney has pulled a lot of their content from the Netflix place.
Yeah, I think they pulled everything.
You basically just lose, as a customer, you lose access for the same price. And even if you were to go to Disney Plus, that still means that if you are on Disney Plus, that you still have to pay, like you could go on Disney Plus and you would maybe pay only for that, but then you still don't have everything that you have with Netflix. So you are selling your, like you will have less at the end of the day. And you might make the same argument for, let's say that there would be a YouTube competitor and Drew is subscribed to YouTube Premium, and there would be the YouTube competitor and they would also have a premium, and Drew really doesn't want to see ads, then it would cost him more money if he wants to see both PewDiePie on the competitor and he wants to see Markiplier on YouTube but doesn't want to see ads, then it will cost him more money. However, if he is not paying for these services, at that point, like, it doesn't matter. And I wonder what might be the thing for let's say the Netflix space, the content provider space, to make it more competitive and appealing, because I feel that even though Netflix has had less content, and even though all these streaming services by themselves have provided less content than Netflix once had all by itself, I feel the prices have gone up. So I don't feel as though they're really in competition, because they're just saying, like, well, if you want to have my stuff, come watch it at my place. You can't get it anywhere else. And it's not as though you can get Disney stuff on Netflix for cheaper. So it's weird.
So this is a very old methodology of how to do like stuff. Like there's a rule somewhere that states that if you have a show, you can't license it out to multiple places. So, for example, in the UK, if you want to watch Rick and Morty season 4, you have to watch it on Channel 4 until that license expires, and then Netflix will buy it for cheaper, and then you can watch it on Netflix, right? So that's, so you can watch the first half of season 4 on Netflix, but you can only watch the full thing on Channel 4, right? Until Channel 4 let it go. Now, I think it's utterly daft that, when you've got things these days, like the only way to watch a TV show across multiple channels or providers, pick one, is by it reaching 100 episodes, and thus, I think it's called like syndication, right? Where you can show it on multiple channels at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's like, hold on, in this day and age, can we just not be so fucking rooted in rules that we came up with in like the 80s and the 90s, right?
One thing which I thought was really interesting, I think it was last year when Rick and Morty season 4 came out. It was set to come out in the end of the year, I believe, worldwide. But then the UK would get it half a year later or something. I was like,
yeah,
but that made no sense.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking why, right? It's goddamn stupid, and that's the sort of shit that Netflix still doesn't have the second half of season 4 of Rick and Morty.
Oh my
right?
God. And
yeah, exactly.
And you still don't know now what's gonna happen in these episodes. Oh my God!
I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember what the fuck happens in those episodes.
You haven't even been able to see them. Oh my! And the memes have been dead for months now. Oh my Lord! So is this a plot from the UK government to just have their entire nation just look like a bunch of idiots when half a year later they come into with dead memes like wubba lubba dub dub, and everyone's like, yeah, that was like played out a year ago. It's like, oh.
But the whole syndication thing, it exists in America as well.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane, and a lot of it comes down to the fact that I feel that if the rules, if the laws and everything was updated, right, then the demand for piracy and shit like that would decrease massively, right? And you could do things where, oh, here's the game, you have to wait for the day 1 patch before, or the day 0 patch for you to be able to play it, right? I totally 100% believe that,
Mm-hmm.
But instead, no, we have to be fucking, I just want to say insane. We have to make things the most complicated thing in the universe so people look for the easy way out.
They will. One thing I'm wondering a little bit about is when it comes to, again, let's say you don't have an internet connection because you live in a cabin in the woods or in the center of Birmingham, or, in a place where there isn't a lot of internet. It would be kind of shitty if the game that you buy, which is a physical copy, would just be broken when you buy it. At the same time, I'm also wondering when it comes to, I like the idea of being able to have content on multiple channels so that they compete with having the same content but then lower prices, because then you can choose Netflix and I still have the same shows as Disney Plus. But at the same time, it would be kind of weird if PewDiePie signs an exclusivity deal with YouTube to stream on it and then starts streaming on Twitch as well and on Mixer. Well, I mean, Mixer is dead. But then why would YouTube still invest in PewDiePie? Why would Disney still invest in shows if it can only show it on its own, if everyone can show it as well? So that is something where, like, how would you change the law to avoid the situation where, like, streaming services can just hold on to shows? It's like, well, if you want to watch this one show and you want to watch that thing and that thing and that thing, you got to have 5 different subscriptions, but at the same time also ensuring that, hey, if I want to create something or if I want to put money into a production, I will be able to get that back because I put the money into it and therefore I can broadcast it.
So I think a way of doing that is, in order for you to be able to... So, here's one way of looking at it. If you make X content...
Mm-hmm.
Right? You cannot show it on your platform, right? Or you cannot show it on your platform exclusively. That will instantly disincentivize people, companies, from trying to hoard as much of the pie as possible by making the stuffing and the crust. Yeah. Whereas if companies like Disney is like, right, we can make the Mandalorian, but we can't show the Mandalorian, then there's a competition there where it's a case of, right, all the other streaming services bid for who's going to get the right to show the Mandalorian, right? So you could either be a streaming service or a producer, right? You can't be both. Yeah?
I see.
That's what they're doing.
I was wondering at the start, like where you were going, because it was sort of that I was thinking, if I make something and I make it for I make that and I also have my own platform, would I want to put it on my own platform, which I believe to be the best platform, then I make it and I can't put it on there. But you make a good point with, for example, Disney just owning so much. If you look at how they own Star Wars, if you look at how they own Marvel, if you look at how they own literally almost everything. And at the point where, they can just open their own streaming service with their own stuff because they own all of that. And at that point,
the alternative is, if you are a producer as well as a streaming service, then you have to be able to host. Someone else has to be able to stream your produced content as well as yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that way, it's a case of, yes, we have The Mandalorian. Yes, we have, I don't know what else is on Disney Plus. I mean,
you will still have an advantage though, because you're gonna have.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So you have it on your service, but someone else has to buy it as well, right? So Netflix goes, right, we'll take The Mandalorian, right? Then, say they produce, the new DuckTales, right? Hulu takes the new DuckTales, right? Then you've then you've got the Mulan movie. HBO takes the Mulan movie. So those three services have each individual thing, but you also have Disney Plus. And that is where all three of them are in one place, right? Mm-hmm. So you could, if you have the one thing that you want, right? I have Netflix. I want to watch The Mandalorian. I'm set, right? No problem from me. But if I want to watch the other three, I could go and watch. I could go and subscribe to. Sorry, the other two. I could go subscribe to Disney Plus and get the other two as well as Mandalorian. I could even cancel my Netflix thing if I wanted to. Right? There's the choice.
The thing that I'm wondering about, though, is how much choice there will be if, let's say, hey, I'm Disney, I create my own thing, I can host it on my own streaming service, and then I gotta sell it to another player. So what will be the price at which I sell it? So is it going to be cheaper for me than it is, because let's say Netflix wants to buy it and they're the only one that buys it and I've made it, I can be like, well, you can buy it for 200% of the price that we would like sell it to our service for. Would you not have that situation? And you said you have to sell it. I was like, well, that's curious, because maybe if like the requirements you have to sell it, then if Netflix just says no, I won't take it, then they can't air it because they need to sell it. But then what stops them from being like, hey, little Timmy, how do you feel like starting your own streaming service? Hey, I'm Big Uncle Disney. Here's like 10 grand, 100 grand, $1 million, 10 million. Just start your own streaming service. It doesn't have to be anything, just get started, and maybe buy our things, and we'll sell it to you for $1. Okay, we'll sell it to you for $1 because you're such a sweetheart. Then they've sold it to a third party.
Right, but what's the advantage of that?
Because then they don't have to sell it to their competitors, because little Timmy is not going to be a competitor. It's just still going to be in there.
It's not met the rules. So, like, if Little Timmy doesn't have a streaming service that is accessible to the same audience, right, then Little Timmy does not count.
Let's say his streaming service is called Plus Disney. and it just licenses everything from Disney Plus. So you can subscribe to Plus Disney or Disney Plus, and it's going to be the exact same thing because, they just have to sell it to one other person.
Again, like the rules would have to say, well, no, you can't be exactly you're the same fucking company. So I get where you're coming from. What stops them from still? There's always going to be fucking loopholes, right? The world is an ever evolving place, and look at the loopholes with what's the name of the bees?
I don't know what
the publisher platform stuff, like the Twitter, YouTube publisher platform. Oh,
that.
Yeah.
I thought you said the bees.
Anyway.
I was like B. I don't know.
No, normally when I can't think of what I'm about to say, I go like, "Oh, what's the name of the bees?"
Okay. Well, I think we very, 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 very much got around the topic of streaming services. I think somewhere we kind of like went into the side topic of CyberPunk. That was totally not the main topic, by far not. So yeah, that is the thing that happens. Streaming services were indeed a thing last week, still are this week, and probably will be next week. Will we talk about it next week? Probably not. But this week we thought it was important to highlight that there were streaming services. And yes,
I think as long as you can easily get a hold of the product, then there are going to be people that are going to pirate it. Like it's just impossible. I think that if you're going to play it, I'm going to play it. I'm going to avoid spoilers like hell. There's only so much you can do. Actually, you can't stop piracy. It's not possible. You can't destroy it.
The big question that I have right now is November. Oh, that is beautiful. December 10th will be on a Thursday. Oh, thank the Lord, we're gonna have a weekend. I was wondering, what if it comes out before? I mean, we have to do the FrameCast then on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, because what if we do the FrameCast as we do right now on the Thursday, and it's just come out? Normally we would say we do a Cyberpunk special FrameCast, but what are we going to talk about? Because we don't want to spoil people. But what are we going to talk about if we don't want to spoil people? We're just going to be like, yeah, the game is the game, and it's game, and we've only played like 2 hours of it, but it's the game, and it's here. So yeah, at least we're going to have about half a week, 3/4 of a week to play it, and then we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do, or the Cyberpunk FrameCast, what we're going to talk about, and how we're going to approach the topic without spoiling things. Or we're just going to straight up be like, yeah, Anakin Skywalker's Darth Vader, welcome to the FrameCast. What?
How did you not know that?
Hey, it's the same with like Warframe, 10 Warframe, that's been out since 2015, but don't spoil it, please. Don't spoil it.
No.
Don't spoil the second game. God dang it. Don't spoil, like, oh my god. What's that this year with, what was the game? There was a game, Final Fantasy, that re-released. That was literally a remake of the old game, and people were like, don't spoil the old game.
7,
yeah. People were like, oh, don't spoil the old games. It's been out for over 20 years or something.
True. Okay, fair enough. But we're talking about generations apart, right? What was the first game console you had?
I think the first new game console was a PS2, but I do also have a Nintendo 64.
Right. So, did you play Final Fantasy VII?
No, I did not.
So I wonder if there's some form of relevance to don't spoil Final Fantasy VII.
Well, it's like there's many things that I haven't played, which I know how it goes because it's been part of pop culture, or it's because like people have talked about it. So I feel when it comes to a certain age, but yeah, I mean, if you go out to people that are in line to buy the remake, and you're just like, here are the top spoilers of the game.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a bit of an asshole. But when people are just discussing how offense from the previous game compared to this game, or what offense they're really looking forward to, it's like, come on, man, like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho, right. I think we're done for today. Are we
done
for today?
let's leave it here. I think it's fine.
Cool.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat down below, or leave them in the comments down below, depending on where you're watching or listening from. If you're listening from this through like any of the audio platforms, you can always send a tweet or Discord us, or send a pigeon Just tie your question to a pigeon, throw the pigeon out the window, and hopefully it will land right here in one of our places and give us the message. Maybe it won't, but you might have a chance. Who knows? Messenger pigeons were like the most insane thing back in the day. That people were like, yeah, that's a reliable way of sending messages. Just tie it to a bird and throw the bird out and hope it arrives at the right spot. So yeah.
Yep.
Let's see here. Yannick said, make it so that the movies or series can't be exclusive to any streaming service. This way you can get competition back, because then if all the same shows are on it, it just becomes a quality of life thing. So then they are going to have to try and improve their service instead of having to rely on exclusivity.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Nod.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about, well, you know, it's such a common thing where YouTube contracts PewDiePie, Twitch contracts Ninja, this contracts, and it's like, actually, it's something which has gotten so normalized in the online world. But if you think about it, there's very little game stores, for example, where this, like, GameStop only has CyberPunk. You can't get it anywhere else, because like that's not necessarily the goal of stores to do. Stores is just a place to sell, and like basically there may be a promotional action with this store sort of thing, but not necessarily it will only be at this store and no other stores. And that's more or less what online providers are, like YouTube, like Twitch, like, and even more so the streaming services. They are very much stores, the storefronts, but then the online fronts where it's the gateway to the end product of the content.
True, but there are also, like, you know, plenty of actual shops where they, you know, the Avengers, right? The Avengers game that came out. In order to get specific skins, you had to buy it from certain places, which was fucking ridiculous, right? That's the sort of, like, you know, so in-store exclusivity, it still exists. But yeah, anyway.
Only with skins, though. I mean, can you imagine that?
There was a point when DLCs were also exclusive. Like, you know, like, oh god, what's the name of the game? Darksiders 2. When that first came out, in order to get this part of this DLC, you have to buy it from here. In order to get this DLC, you have to buy it from here. And if you bought the Ultimate Collector's Edition, right, it didn't include everything, and it was like, what the living fuck?
Oh man, I mean, I'll be down with skins in game, not game, movie content. So if you watch the Avengers on Disney Plus, they'll have suits with Mickey Mouse on them. We just like CGI, put it on there. And if you watch it on Netflix, they'll all wear red suits, and you choose your own customization of the film. But yeah, we'll see. The problem with it right now is how the exclusivity works. Is probably why it won't stop anytime soon, which stops the gears of progress. We'll see what's gonna happen. What we do know is going to happen within a second right now is that I'm going to say go over to youtube.com/CasinoGelion if you want to check out this beautiful man right here. He's just uploaded a Casino Codex, which is a video where he talks about his opinion on games and why he thinks certain games are good, like what his criteria are for games. If you're in the market of for games, or if you're wondering about should I buy this game, is Anthem a good buy for me? Should I pre-order Godfall? Should I buy Marvel's Avengers, the game? Or should I go for CyberPunk? Well, if you're wondering about those questions, you should know that only the last one is probably a valid option, and the other one's probably not. And if you are still wondering about that, just go to this video and figure out, like, how do I get some common sense in buying games? And maybe you have other ideas and throw it in the comments and discuss with the people around there. Or be like me and watch, like, a minute of it, and then Nier Automata gets brought up, with some gameplay of Nier Automata, and you just break down because that was such an amazing game, and you just have to stop it and just have to go and think for the entire evening. But oh my god, Nier Automata, oh my god, go play that if you haven't played that yet. That's actually a good game. So yeah, CasinoGelion.com, YouTube.com/CasinoGelion, or YouTube.com/10o'clock if you want to hear more of his amazing voice. This time through the amazing wireless headphones. On the 10 o'clock podcast, which is of course the grandfather, the predecessor, the almighty hero of the FrameCast. The only two podcasts that you can ever listen to, because they are the best podcasts. There's no other podcast like us. They're all copies of this podcast, so don't watch them. Also, Netflix, if you want to sign us.
Don't watch them.
Yeah, because we're the best podcast. watch only our two, right?
I thought you said don't watch our podcast anyway.
No, you experience them. You experience them.
Yeah.
That's it. You're right. You're right. You experience them. It's like a full body experience. You know. Soon coming in 3D. You can sit and watch in VR. The FrameCast. You can look around and see in our space, and you can touch us. Not really, no, because like that'd be weird. But you know, virtually, maybe you might. That is an outro, man. I have no idea where I was going with that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. So,
Cool. Right. Well, likewise, if you are just catching the end of this episode and you're like, oh shit, what did they talk about? Well, you can catch us again in 24 hours on youtube.com/postmalone games. Postmalone games. God, that name. And you can see like the whole episode and everything, what we've spoken about. And if you are listening to us on YouTube or Anchor, you got it on Anchor as well now.
Yeah, on all like the podcast platforms, so Spotify, Apple, I think, as well, everywhere.
Yeah, if you want to catch us live and you want to contribute live during chat and things, you can always watch us at some point in the week on twitch.tv/Michelle Postma. All the links are in the description below, or spammed all over chat. One of the two. He'll do that. He will do that.
I'll post all the links. All the links of the internet will be on there. All of the links. Or just like the most important ones, like my channel, Xeno's channel. That's it.
Watch out for anything from Reddit or 4chan. I'm just going to say now.
Also, I will already say on the podcast right now, a huge thank you to Efime for doing the timestamps. Efime has been timestamping the most recent FrameCast. Probably will already have the timestamps done before we're even finished, because they're so fast and very detailed. So yeah, I'll catch on Spotify if he uploads the right episodes. Oh my god, I did upload the wrong episode at some point, but yeah, we will have the right episode out this time. I'll not screw that up. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to the FrameCast. I really appreciate everyone. And yeah, we'll see you all next week, which is actually going to be like in 4 days' time or 5 days' time, because we're doing this on the first day. So you'll have to miss us less long. Well, and then we're going to have to find...
You'll have to miss us less long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway. I love it. We'll see you less long from now. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.